Hi all, I wanted to make this video to address a question that was asked by one of your peers. This is a great question. This is on solving equations that contain fractions. And even if you were really comfortable doing this in your last algebra class, it's a difficult process to remember off the top of your head, so you may not remember how to do it. So let's talk about the method of clearing fractions. There's other methods for solving these, and if you know those methods and are comfortable with them, I'm fine with that. I do not care what method you use on the exams, as long as I can understand the process that you used on the exams. All right, so the clearing fractions method requires us to find an LCD, a least common denominator, for the bottom of the fractions. I want to apologize. I'm using a mouse to do this, so the penmanship is going to be pretty bad. So we need an LCD between 4 and 5. Normally we would prime factorize this. 4 is 2 and 2. 5 is just 5. If you don't need to do this step, that's fine. So I need to, since they have nothing in common, I just multiply 4 and 5. So the LCD is 20. So what I'm going to do is go back and multiply both sides of the equation by 20. So multiply this side by 20 and multiply this side by 20. Now, on both sides, I'm going to end up reducing. If I reduce and the denominator does not go away completely on each side, then I've used the wrong LCD. So on both sides, I'm going to reduce 20 into 4 times 5 so that I can easily see what would cancel in the denominator and what would be left over. So 20 is really 4 times 5. And again, I'm so sorry for the penmanship. I really hope you can read this. Okay, so on this side, different color, I can see that 4 and 4 will cancel, and I'll be left with this 5. And on this side, I can see 5 and 5 would cancel, and I will be left with 4. So now I just need to multiply the 5 and the 5, and the 4 and the 4, and then I'll go ahead and distribute. So on the next line, I'll write that out hopefully more clearly. So what would be left was 5 times 5, and x minus 9. And over here would be 4 times 4, and x plus 9. All right, so I'm going to multiply these, and I'm going to distribute them in so that I can simplify. Multiply and distribute. So 5 times 5 is really 25. And if I distribute 25 times x, and I'll have to do 25 times 9. And fun fact, Google is a calculator, so I can do 25 times 9. And it's 225. 25, so 225. And on this side, 4 times 4 is 16, so I'll have 16x. And then I need to distribute to the 9, so I'll need 9 times 16. 16 times 9, which is 144. And now I have what is a linear or a normal looking, if you will, equation where I just have some x's and some constants to work with. So I'm going to have to move the 16x this way, and I'm going to move the 225x this way. And doing it in that order will mean that I always have positives at the end. I can do it in a different order, but I'll end up with negative numbers to get rid of. So this way I can move 16 and subtract it from a larger number, so I'll get a positive. And I'll move 225 and I'll end up adding it to a number, so I'll still have a positive. So I'll have 225 minus 16x is equal to 144 plus 225. Okay, so 25 minus 16, that's 9. And 144 plus 225 plus 25 is 369. 369. My last step will be to divide 9 on both sides. The 9s over here will cancel. And then over here I have 369 divided by 9, which is 41. I'll do the answer in a color I haven't used so far. How about blue? That's pretty. X is equal to 41. And you can see over here on the left, X was equal to 41. So I hope that helps with the simplifying steps. Again, sorry it's so messy. I'm using a mouse to draw it out. But the most complicated step would be up here at the top, where you've got to multiply both sides by the LCD. And I want to give you that hint again. If you multiply both sides by the LCD and you have not eliminated all the fractions on the denominator, then either it's the wrong LCD or you need to recheck your multiplication, because once you've completed this step, there should be no fractions left when you get down here. I hope that was useful for you, and I'll see you in class.